Tamara,
Yeah.
what you doing? What do you got?
Harvesting celery, broccoli, cucumbers, first yellow
Look at that
zucchini.
size. That's not even a cucumber.
Oh, we got
It's an
bigger ones.
abomination.
They're not. It's not good to have it that big.
And of course, cow. Well, good morning, Hank. Do you know what today is? Today, the day you get to go out with the cows. Yeah, you actually been waiting for this day for a long time. So, are you ready? Ah, Hank. Let's go. Ooh, big butt fly. Got him. Look at the size of that thing. I know. You know what's happening. Okay, let's go. It's supposed to have... And of course, the first stop, the back scratcher. Okay, you lead the way. Where are we going? I think he's making a beeline. He's not going by the treaded path. So he's making me duck. He's got a pretty good pace going on. I can barely keep up to him. And the date today is July 16th, so it's mid-July, and this should give us calves the last week of April, first week of May. And I did see a few cows in heat this morning. So Hank, of course, knows this as well. He's just a bit confused where they're at. They're right over there. You can see them. There you go. Uh-oh. He's going to start running soon. You can see that block is almost falling off his foot now. He's definitely happy. Got some dual calf drinking action on Blanche. Of course, these calves are meeting their dad for the first time too. I think Hank's gonna get right to business. Well, it doesn't look like Blanche is in heat. But I think Jenny was yesterday, so we'll see what happens with Hank here. Let's see who we got drinking off of Blanche. Of course, there's Sandy here, and Sandy is Blanche's calf. And then in the background, we got Lizzie, who is Fergie's calf. Now we got Hank checking out Matilda. Of course, Matilda's the boss. She's gonna ride Hank. What do you think of that, Hank? Eh? Well, let's go see Jenny. And there's Bandit. And Bandit's Black-Eyed Susie's calf with Reggie and Smokey. And we have Mandy, our first-year heifer, fresh heifer. And that's her little calf right there. And her name is Bambi. And then the gray one over there is Ashley. And that's Lucy's baby. And Lucy's a fresh heifer too. So that's her first heifer, or first calf. And then Hank is gonna see Black-Eyed Susie. So far, no one's pulling the trigger. Oh. Is Lucy in heat? Yeah. No trigger on Lucy, so we'll just look at Hank's paw here, so you can notice how he's standing on a block there, and the block is just about ready to fall off. But it's making him off balance a bit. But his foot has healed substantially. So what it is he got a crack in his hoof, and then there's a little bit of an infection. So Albert came along and cleaned out the infection, packed it full of some antibacterial salts, and put him on a block so he didn't put any pressure on it. And that was about a week ago. So he's back to Lucy. This is Reggie. Hi, Reggie. And Reggie's out of the fresh heifer, Jenny. So Jenny's just 2 years old. And Reggie's, her first calf, which was a heifer. Okay, then we have Ashley and Smokey. And Smokey is one of our 2 steers. Ashley's a heifer, and Ashley is probably about 3 weeks old right now. And the last one born is Bambi, with Mandy as mom for the first time. And she's about a week old. So everybody's introducing themselves to Bill or Hank again. And doesn't look like anybody's triggering Hank. So no one's in heat just at this specific point in time. But now that he's out here, he'll probably trigger them to start cycling a little more loudly. And everybody just likes being underneath the trees right now. It's kind of a hot day, but it's a little hazy. There's some wildfire smoke on the horizon. So it kind of cooled things down a bit. We're hovering around low 80s, about 24 Celsius. And while I'm here, just noting that it's mid-July, so we still have a lot of growth in the short grass. The orchard grass has died off. The bluegrass still has quite a few clumps, but it's coming to the end. So after the cows move out of this field, I'm going to bush hog the rest of the orchard grass down and let it start from scratch. And while I'm here, I'm gonna move them over to this side. So just in comparison, the cows have been on here for 3 days. It's just over an acre. But we'll move them over to this side, and you can see there's quite a bit of green clover. That's, well, it's white clover, but it's pretty green. You got the dead orchard grass embedded in it, and just some more pasture plants and weeds that have matured. So I'm gonna let them out in here right now. This is another acre and a bit, and then keep them on here for 3 days, and then I'll cut this down as well, and then move them down the line. Each time I move them down the line, I'm going to cut down the grass as well. So we'll see if the cows come and move towards me as I open up this pasture. So black-eyed Susie, she ain't wasting no time. She's like, I heard there's some nice fresh grass over here. Here I come. Oh yeah, she doesn't even make it to the line. That's our calf Bandit. And then you got Fergie and Blanche. And Jenny coming next. So Bandit was born first week of May. So he's 3 months and a week. Jenny can't pass up the opportunity for some green grass. And then the only holdup is Hank. Oh, we got some action. Looks like Mandy's getting it. And what do you think about that? And that's Ashley and Lucy. Little Bambi. So what the hoof guy told me is Hank only needs 2 feet, his back feet. So that's been proven. Even though he's all healed up on his front foot, even with that block there, he's still able to do his job. And that block's gonna fall off. See, it's throwing him off balance a bit. And you can see in this pasture, got lots of white clover. And we also have trefoil. And that's these yellow flowers. Now trefoil is a pretty hardy grass. Cows aren't too crazy about it, but when there's a drought, that's the grass that's going to be green in our field. We got some more trefoil over here. And they'll eat down those flowers. So I better go mark the calendar for Mandy. July 16th, Mandy confirmed. And then of course we'll check her in 3 weeks again to see if she's back in heat. And that's our breeding program. So what is this herd? Well, this herd consists of cattle, except for Hank. Obviously Hank has been purchased and we bring him in just for his genetics. But this whole herd is derived from the 3 original Holstein Belgian Blue cows. So we got Matilda, Blanche, and Fergie. And those are the original 3 cows, and the rest of this herd is derived from those cows. So for instance, we have Lucy here. Lucy is Blanche's calf from 2 years ago. And Lucy had her first calf, which is Ashley, which is that gray one right there. Okay, walking away from us is Black-Eyed Susie, and she is Fergie's calf from 2022, and she has had her 3rd calf, and this year she has Bandit, which is almost the same as Barney, her calf last year, except for Barney was brown, and this year Bandit is black, but very similar markings. The 2 black eyes, the white underbelly, and the black torso. And then we got Jenny over there, and Jenny is from 3 years ago, and she is Matilda's calf. And Jenny was a first-time heifer, a fresh heifer, and she has had Reggie, which is this red calf right here, and that's her first calf. And then we have Mandy, who's Fergie's daughter, and she had Bambi, which is this little guy right there. And then Matilda this year has had Smokey, and Smokey's one of our only 2 steers. So Bandit is a steer and Smokey is a steer. So Smokey and the Bandit are 2 steers. And then we have Sandy here, which is Blanche's calf from this year. And we have Lizzie, which is Fergie's calf from this year. So this whole herd here is derived from these 3 cows. Blanche, Matilda, and Fergie. And it looks like we're gonna carry on the tradition with Mandy, and there's Hank. So we're passing down the genetics of Hank, who's a gorgeous black Angus bull. And we picked him up last spring. And he is now 3 years old. But he's a nice statured bull. Very good personality. And he's got some amazing genetics. And of course these are all his calves from last year's breeding. And yeah, we got 5 heifers. So we got heifer, 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 heifer.